G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. How are we all doing today? I thought it would be a terrible time to come to the mountain on such a sunny afternoon, almost evening time, because it's the perfect place to go for today's topic. And today's topic, ladies and gents, is talking about riding with a level head, because, well, it might be too loud for the bubby there. Because, man, the amount of people that have oopsies when they're not thinking straight is alarming. Before we get into it, g'day ladies and gents, my name is Nathan. I make videos about motorcycles, motorcycling related content. If you like my content, please subscribe. We're on our way to 10,000 subscribers right now. We're almost there. And leave a like and comment if you enjoy it as well, because why not help the brother out, man? Without further ado, let's get into it. So ladies and gentlemen, riding with a level head makes a big difference to your riding. Going for a ride to clear your head is a different thing than riding with a level head. You can have, a need for a ride to clear your head and still ride with a level head, alright? I know it sounds strange, but believe it or not, it is possible. Basically, the idea is trying not to ride when you're in the frame of mind where you're angry or incredibly, big, sad, depressed, to the point where you might do something stupid, alright? Going for the ride should be one of those relaxing things where you calm yourself down. If you're not commuting, commuting you should still be riding with a level head, but the point being is, you better get on the bike and enjoy yourself. You're not supposed to get on the bike and thrash it because you're pissed off, because how many of you guys have seen those Instagram reels? I'm sure this is on TikTok. I don't know. I don't use TikTok. But where they go, when your girlfriend leaves you and the guy just flies past on a leader bike or something crazy like that. Yes, I get it. It's fun to do such a thing. But you should be, if you're going to do stupid, speedy things, you should really focus on doing it whilst you're in a state of mind where you can handle the anger and the aggression. You know what I mean? Because, look, the amount of times I've seen people go for rides when they're not ready, just because their frame of mind is so pissed off that they go into a corner a little bit too hot. I have had mates do this where they're not in the right frame of mind and they ride full speed into a corner and crash multiple times. And look, man, it's an easily avoidable thing. Now look, sometimes the corners will catch you by surprise if you're unfamiliar with the area or if there's an animal that jumps out in front of you. But you shouldn't go too hot into a corner because you're angry and you just want to go fast and go, uh-oh, there's a corner and I've come in too hot and now I'm going to crash. You know what I mean? So what you should be doing is, if you're really in that frame of mind where you're really pissed off, even if someone cuts you off, you got to learn to just take a breath, calm yourself down, and just be like, well, now I'm hopping on the bike. The bike is dangerous, and I need to respect the bike rather than getting in my own head and then pissing myself off even more because I've done some mistake while riding and then had an accident or worse. You know what I mean? Because the amount of times I've seen people ride in the state of mind they shouldn't be riding in. Now, just because you're in a bad mindset doesn't mean you're always going to have an accident by any means, but you're more likely to do something stupid or get yourself into a situation where you're in more danger than you need to be, all right? And the thing is, here on this channel, I like to talk about being safer and all that goodness. Now, I love a good fast ride by all means, but there's limitations to how you should be taking these corners when you're in that state of mind. Oh, I like this area. And of course now I'm going to catch up with all the guys. I'm not even speeding. That's what's crazy. Everyone around here goes so slowly because of these hairpins. I can't even enjoy. I let these cars go past and I still can't even enjoy a good ride because they're in my way. That's alright. Point being is, there's cars in front of me. Am I going to get mad that they're in front of me? No. I'm just going to continue riding at my own pace, give myself a bit of distance and all that, so I can ride safely and not do anything stupid that gets me caught out or caught by surprise. Because it's really easy, ladies and gentlemen, to get into a situation where you do make a bad decision. And you can see along these rails there's a few bad decisions, because this is a very popular location in Melbourne. This is on Mount Dandenong. This is the Mountain Highway run. It's iconic for its little, you start from the bus stop back there and you go up the thing and people go as fast as they can. It's a 70 zone and we're doing 45. What are we doing? But that's okay. So people come to these locations all the time purely because they're in that state of mind where they want to just go for a fast ride. There's good little twisties. This is what I would consider the beginner entry to the twisty area of the mountains in Melbourne. And you can see clearly, like, if you make a bad decision around this corner, goodbye, you're going down a hill into lots and lots of trees. Why are we going 35? Oh my. But dude, you've really got to get into that situation where if you're really in that bad state of mind, you really can't think about riding anywhere. You're just so angry. You got to get out of the way. That's a learner. That's all right. We can't get mad at learners here. That you just got to step back and realize things are okay and be like, okay, let's have a breath. I'm going for a ride. It's going to be okay. let's just take it easy, because bikes are fun. You don't even have to go fast on a bike to enjoy yourself. You could have a slow speed cruise through the hills, kind of like what I'm doing right now, and just take a breath, get the fresh air, take in the scenery. Obviously not too much because you might have an accident, but just pull up nice and controlled, dude. You can even see the high risk area signs. They're there for a reason, because it's true, these areas are inherently more risky for people because of the way that people ride in them. Because when you're going at 30 k's under the speed limit, of course it doesn't seem so dangerous, but when you even go on the speed limit here, some of the corners can catch you off guard. Now if you're really angry and say you're doing 100 down this area because you're just so pissed off, a hairpin at 100 kilometers an hour is rather spooky and a very quick way to have a bad day, and I can assure you that I've seen it happen. Now I had a mate once that we took out for a ride. Now this was just purely inexperience, but the principle's the same. He went into a hairpin going 120 kilometers an hour. By some goddamn miracle, that man survived without any crashing. He went through the corner, he somehow managed to brake fast enough, and he got away unscathed without any damage at all. He was just fine. But when you're in a bad state of mind, you might do something wrong. You might miss an input on your bike, you might miss shift, you might not press the brake early enough, and you might wash the front brake out. So say you're on a bike with no ABS, you might wash the front brake out because you're just so ready to slow the brakes, because you go, oh shit, brown moment, and then you hit that brake and then you wash the tyre out, you go into the corner as opposed to around the corner. And I can assure you that it's gonna be a bad time. And we're back, ladies and gents. The learner was so nice to let us go over, and now we have clear run yet again. But I don't want to see any comments from my people saying I do this a lot, I go for rides and I'm really angry. Now look, I'm sure there's those of you who have done it, and look, I'm no stranger, I've gone for a ride angry, but I'm very comfortable in riding when I'm pissed off, because I don't take the anger out on the road, I don't twist the throttle more than I have to, I don't get mad and have to go fast. When I'm mad, I'm just going for a ride and then I'm okay. I don't get an emotional, I don't emotionally drive or ride for that matter. And I don't get road rage. That's one of those important things that, look, it can catch you out pretty easily because, oh, careful, those reflectors, they can bump you down pretty well as well. It's just, you want to ride for a long time, right? There's a reason that saying goes, there's old riders and bold riders, and there's not many old and bold riders. It's because the old and bold riders don't do what they don't have to do. They don't ride like idiots unnecessarily. They enjoy themselves on the ride. They cruise around, they take their time, and they don't speed unnecessarily through places. They know if they're going to speed at all, they know where to cruise. You know, I'm going to go back the same way because it's such a good ride that I think it's a must. I like Sassafras though. Sassafras is a nice area. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing a U-turn and going back down the way I came. I don't think I want to do all of that. And back down the mountain highway run we go. It's just such a nice ride. But I tell you what, dude, the risks don't outweigh the reward sometimes. And I know that sometimes you just want to go fast to get that adrenaline rush, because the dopamine does feel good when you're having a bad day and you just need that extra little boost. So we do whatever we can. Some people turn to substance, some people do like gaming, some people read books, some people speed on their motorbikes, and I'm just here to tell you, man, that although it's fun, sometimes you just got to take a step back and be like, is it worth it? Because if I'm going to go and do something stupid, maybe not. And look, even if you have an argument with someone, right, and you hop on the bike immediately. Now, I know I can do this because I don't hold on to my anger. I just sort of fizzles out. But those who get really angry and hold on to that anger for hours at a time, don't hop on your bike straight away, because you're either going to get yourself a speeding fine, which is something, all right. You might end up getting a fine so hard you get your license suspended, or in America you might go to jail. But you don't want to have an accident where you end up hurting yourself, or worse, hurting someone else. And then, look, if you hurt someone else and you end up perishing, fair enough, but it's still a terrible thing. I'm not saying that's the optimal, but if you end up riding and then you have an accident and someone perishes and you're the one who survives, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That is a one-way ticket to survivor's guilt. That's going to ruin a lot of people for a long time. Their mental states can't handle that level of torment for very long. So all I'm saying is, take a breath, take a drink, just sit there with a glass of water, mate, or some chocolate milk, because chocolate milk always puts a smile on your face. If you have an argument, calm it down. I know sometimes it's really hard, and even if you have like a breakup level argument with your missus or something like that, so your family member got really mad, someone broke something of yours, your missus cheated on you, or your boyfriend cheated on you, and you had one of those colossal arguments, take your bike, and if you have to, just go down the road and get away from the location, But go to a local reserve if you have one nearby. I know in Australia we have reserves all over the shop, and just take a moment, take 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you need to just calm yourself down to a state of mind where you're comfortable deciding that it's okay to ride again, you know what I mean? So like, you don't have to go fast, you don't have to go far, just get away from the place of anger and sit down, bask in the sun. If it's pissing down with rain, it's a bit more annoying. If it's really, really cold, or really, really hot for that matter, I'm telling you, the 5 to 15 minute break that you're going to give yourself before you hop on one of these bikes and go for an angry ride might end up saving your life in more ways than you can imagine. And that's basically the point I'm trying to get across here. Just calm down, all right? But ladies and gents, that's basically the topic. And I just don't want to see any of you guys hurting yourselves or having accidents because you just don't think straight, you know? And it happens too much. It happens too much. And I can't stop you from doing it, but I can only lead you to water so many times, man. I can only lead the horse to water before, you know, and whatnot, the saying goes. But, you know, I'll lead it there a million times before I just bloody drown the thing in it. I don't know. But I think for the rest of this ride, I'm just going to enjoy this cruise with you guys, because this is what riding's about, man. You had a bad day, this is what you should be doing. Just coming out here and looking around and enjoying yourself, because it's hard not to enjoy yourself when you're blessed with such scenery. Now, a lot of people say Australia's quite flat. It is, but around Melbourne and all that, and yeah, there's a lot of mountains that you do get to enjoy. Melbourne's got quite a lot of variety in landscapes and scenes. That's why so many movies are actually shot in Melbourne, just because we've got bloody every type of landscape you can imagine. There's deserts up north in Victoria, there's mountains down here, there's mountains down south, there's mountains north and north? English has escaped me. North and west and south and east. South Melbourne obviously is just all suburbs and city, but like, you know, sometimes you just got to get out and enjoy these things. And this is why you want to live to ride another day, because how else will you enjoy rides like this just because you're upset and you go, if I crash, I don't care. Believe me, friend, you will care. Because a lot of the times when you crash, you don't end up, you know, perishing, and you've just injured yourself beyond repair. Now, if you have a big crash and you lose limbs, that's going to be one of those regrettable decisions, isn't it? Now, I know there's a few people that have accidents, lose limbs, and keep on riding. Good on them, all right? Good on them. But not everyone has that in them. And they might get PTSD and don't want to ride anymore. And, well, then what? Your output's gone. Your outlook on life has changed. Your escape has changed. And, well, now what are you going to do? And you're going to find something else. Now, if you're a gamer and you lose your arms, yes, you can adapt. Some people do, but if you're like a certain part in life, you don't really want to change and adapt to others. You're probably just going to end up a depressed mess. And what have you achieved? More sadness by trying to escape the other sadness by doing something stupid, man. It's upsetting. It's upsetting. So many people have accidents that are easily avoidable. And a big one when you're angry is you're probably more likely to go and try and overtake all these people around blind corners, man. You just don't want to see that, because I can assure you, going around a blind corner into a car is a bad time. Now, sometimes cars overshoot the blind corners and hit you. Now, those are those situations where it's really hard to avoid. Yes, you can swerve, but there's only so much you can swerve before you run out of road yourself and go into a ditch. But it's better than being the guy who loses focus, goes and overshoots the corner, and then ends up in the back of someone because you were the one who was not paying attention, or you were too angry and you did it, or you just low-sided the bike and you damaged your pride and joy. Even if you barely get injured, you're going to be pissed off even more because now you've damaged your bike. So, heed my warning, children. I don't want to see any of you guys having any more accidents because of these things. Now, the only time you can be angry is when all these cyclists are on these damn roads. Ugh. But, you know, it is what it is. And here is the beginning of the beautiful mountain highway run, that bus stop. That is the considered beginning. That's as telltale by all the burnouts on the ground. Isn't it beautiful? But that marks the end of this little cruise here, ladies and gents. So, I do hope you enjoyed the whole ride. So please, take it easy. Keep it cheesy. Ride safe. Please, if you need to talk to someone, do so. And remember, there is a Discord link in the description which has a specific channel for when you're having one of those bad days. A few of our lovely people have used it quite frequently. It's called the Wombat Family Chats. Now, if you don't have any people in real life to talk to, feel free to come in there and just vent if you must, ask for some advice, or just talk to some of us, because everyone in my Discord is relatively very nice. And, you know, I haven't had anyone in our Discord who isn't really deserving to be there so far. And all those who are constantly active, and you'll know who they are because they're always the same few people, guess what? They'll happily have a conversation to you and help you out with those mental health things. But otherwise, have a good day, ladies and gents. Time to love you and leave you. Peace. Bye.